Hey everybody, Dan with Pain For You. Today's topic is going to be, if it's TMS, please stop using the medical terminology to describe your symptoms. All right, it's a long title, but I'll get to that in a minute. Breathe in the peace, exhale the noise. Please keep breathing, nice, relaxed. Soften the muscles in your body. That sends a really, really good message of safety to your brain. Because if you weren't safe, you wouldn't be filling your lungs, your muscles wouldn't be relaxed. So, topic. If it's TMS, drop the medical labels. All right. And I say that because I pay attention, not just to my group, but to the other TMS groups and to the YouTube comments. And everybody is walking around using medical terminology and medical labels to describe what's going on with them. And I understand why, because it's like, well, I have sciatica. That's the name of it. Or I have cluster headaches, or I have, a rotator cuff shoulder pain, or I have who knows, whatever, whether it be one of the neuralgias, whether it be trigeminal, pudendal. I've got this, I've got that. And any one of thousands of different medical labels that are given to people with chronic symptoms. I have IBS. I have, you name it. And so here's what I'm going to suggest. If you still believe it's a medical thing, it's going to be really hard to teach the brain to turn down the danger signals, which are the pain and the symptoms. As long as you use these scary medical labels, you're going to carry along with it all of the emotional baggage that comes with it. So just let's look at pudendal neuralgia, for example. If you search for those types of things and you get involved in those pudendal neuralgia groups, and you go to pelvic floor therapy and everything else that goes on, it's a very emotionally charged, very despair-filled community out there of a lot of people that are struggling with, for example, pelvic pain, or butt pain, or you name it. And the problem is, by continuing to utilize that language that is deeply attached to that emotionally charged, fear-filled community, you're kind of keeping yourself in that space. And so, as I've said, this is a sales job to your subconscious brain to turn off the pain, which is literally just a danger alarm, to say, there's a problem down there. That's what the pain is saying. But what if it's just TMS? And I know people will say, just TMS? What, are you kidding me? It hurts so bad. But keep in mind, if given the choice between a true physical structural cause for pain that was chronic, or TMS, which means there is a way out, it's challenging, but there is a way out, I would choose TMS 1,000 days in a row. Right, without a doubt. So if you know it's TMS, please drop the medical labels. They don't help you. All they do is keep you in fear, because those medical labels are deeply attached to many of these communities out there that say there's no cure. This didn't work for me. That didn't work for me. I was taking meds. That didn't help either. And, etc., etc., etc. Fear, fear, fear. Despair, despair, despair. those medical labels are used by doctors who are not familiar with this mind-body type of pain. So how do you know? I just had somebody say today, is pudendal neuralgia TMS? The answer is you need to do the assessments. You need to figure out, does your pain behave like TMS? Inevitably, it's probably going to be. I'm of the mindset that virtually all chronic symptoms, meaning persistent for longer than the normal healing time, I believe that all of those are TMS, or neural circuit pain, which means it's created in the brain. So it doesn't matter what medical label you've been given by the doctors that don't have any clue about this stuff. If it's TMS, then there's a way out, and why not just call it pelvic pain instead of the scary pudendal neuralgia? Why not just call it whatever it may be, whatever symptom you're dealing with? Why not just call it mind-body pain? Why not just call it neural circuit pain? And even that seems a little bit medical sounding, doesn't it? Why don't we just call it temporary pain? Misguided pain. A false alarm pain. Find something that sounds a lot softer than the medical terminology. I will try to link down below in the description of this video a couple of assessments that you can go through that will help you determine. Because asking a group, is my symptom TMS, or asking me, is this symptom TMS, is not the way we determine whether or not something is TMS or mind-body. Everybody is different. Everybody experiences things different. And the medical label doesn't mean jack. Excuse me. It's really important that if you haven't done the assessments, that you do that. And if you have done the assessments and it's indicated TMS, asking another group to say, is this TMS, is keeping you stuck in doubt, uncertainty. It's keeping you stuck in fear. And I understand the desire to get confirmation from other people to go, yep, it's TMS, I'm all better. But keep in mind, some of the folks that have gotten better from Dr. Sarno's work and all the other TMS practitioners and coaches and people out there are probably not in the group. There's few people who stick around long after they feel better. And my desire for everybody is that you feel better and then you exit my group, you exit the other TMS groups, and you don't come back. Now, maybe you're compelled, like I am, to come back and share the wealth and the knowledge and, really try to help other people. But for most people, I want you to forget this shit, because it's not worth hanging on to unless you actually want to play a proactive role in helping others. My point is, if you're asking a group of people that are all still in pain whether or not something you've got is TMS, you may get a confirmation, but you may not get the rock solid, yes, this is, and I got better, which I believe is what we're looking for when we start posting, is this TMS, and can somebody please tell me that, people are getting better. Medical labels don't help us. They keep us in the fear zone, the freak out zone. Call it temporary pain. Temporary mind-body syndrome, right? Figure out. If you're not sure, take the pain test. I'll link it below. If you're not sure, go to ppdassociation.org/symptoms. I'll link it below. There are ways of determining whether or not something is mind-body or created in the brain or not. And everybody's like, yeah, but my pain doesn't move, so how can it be a TMS? Well, okay, maybe it doesn't move, but does it go up or down based on your stress levels? Can you be feeling reasonably okay and you have an emotion that hits and all of a sudden the pain jumps? Some of these things are evidence, right? And so please go through the assessments. If it says TMS, it's TMS. Stop calling it by the medical label that the medical profession, who has failed to help you, calls it. Because those medical labels, again, they're attached to this fear-based community of people with that medical label that haven't gotten better yet. So I hope this makes sense. I'm not trying to pick on anybody or give you a hard time here. I'm really trying to encourage you to revisit the assessments. And if it says TMS, please accept it. The sooner that you accept that that is the only thing that's going on, this mind-body syndrome, the sooner you're going to get better. Holding on to labels like pudendal neuralgia, trigeminal neuralgia, whatever it may be, sciatica. I called my back pain sciatica for years. It wasn't. Sciatica is a certain medical terminology. Yes, I had TMS that radiated down my leg. I guess the medical term was sciatica, but I think one sounds a lot more scary than the other. It's all TMS. Too much stress, too much shit, combined with too much thinking, too much fear. That creates this phenomenon in the nervous system that we call TMS. So please drop the medical labels. I don't believe they're doing you any good. They're just keeping you stuck in believing and identifying with the physical realm, which is based on a physical diagnosis, which is based on medical professionals who are great at diagnosing and telling you what's wrong, but they're not great at helping you out of that. So I would scrap the medical labels once you have done the evaluations and it looks and smells like TMS. So I hope that makes sense. And I guess we'll see you guys and gals tomorrow. Love you.